Live from Pittsburgh, it's Rona, reviewing the Pittsburgh Opera's production of The Pearl Fishers by Bizet. While I am here at home doing this online review, they are still performing it at the Benedum Theater. I could not bear to stay for the end. This production combined Act 1 and 2 into one act. Then there was a 20-minute intermission, at which time I left, and then the remaining act was going to come after the intermission. It was really, really boring. So I was looking forward to this a great deal because, as many of you know, it has two of the most beautiful, a duet and a beautiful aria, and also another aria that many sopranos know, Comme autrefois, which many singers study. There's also another beautiful aria for a woman by Leila. I did not know it. It's quite a lovely piece. Unfortunately, in between is a lot of filler music. You wouldn't really know it's by Bizet at all. It doesn't sound anything like Carmen. It doesn't have the interest. So what exactly is this opera? Well, I'm not going to tell you the story because it's not worth telling. My husband, who is a true expert in opera, sums it up in the class of stories as the boy and the girl fall in love, they're not supposed to, they die. In this opera, according to the program notes, they don't die. I don't know. Maybe at the end they actually did die. I wasn't there to witness it. The production that came to Pittsburgh has traveled around the country for quite a while, and if it comes to your area, it really is a very good production. The sets and scenery, costumes are gorgeous. The colors were just luscious. Pink and aqua and gold. The scenery was very fanciful. The little props they had were charming. That was it. And we also have a resident choreographer with the Pittsburgh Opera, Michelle De La Reza from Attack Theater. I thought she did an excellent job keeping the choreography moving a lot during the opera. Okay, you all know I go for the singing. And this is what we had tonight. Really kind of students. We had two graduates of our resident program. Sean Paniker, who played Nadir, is a young tenor. He's about 30 years old, and he has a lovely voice. He can have a very nice career. The one thing I did not like about his singing is that in his phrasing, he didn't seem to really finish the phrases strongly enough. He didn't drive to the end, but he did have a beautiful lyric quality to his voice. Craig Verm played Zurga, and as many of you know, I'm a big fan of his. Unfortunately, I didn't think that he carried the role well enough all the time. His voice got a little weak in certain places. The woman who played Leila was somebody I didn't know. Her name is Leah Partridge. It's the kind of voice that I just don't like. It's like a fluttery, coloratura type soprano. A lot of chambers. You can hear her voice putting her voice into these different chambers. It's kind of all over the place. Just not for me. The chorus, which is usually a high point of the opera, was disappointing in their attacks. Once they got going, they were really good, as always. But they sort of fell into the beginnings of where they were supposed to come in. The orchestra played beautifully, as it usually does. Unfortunately, they also overpowered the singers. The biggest disappointment in this opera, and maybe there's nothing that can be done for this, is that the characters had no chemistry or feeling for each other. Even in the beautiful first act duet, which everybody loves, Au fond du temple saint, the two men just sort of stood there. They were like statues. And I felt very disappointed. I was really looking forward to this. And when Nadir sings his aria, he did a little better in connecting with the audience. But these are things that even amateur productions can, I think, can improve on over what we saw in this big professional production. The big question is, should this opera be done even as a rarity? In my opinion, it's not a good choice for a big hall in a regional opera company that seats well over 1,000 people per performance. First of all, it was not even half filled. And I can tell you, my husband and I were not the only people who left after the intermission. So people speak with their feet. And the consensus was boring, just not good. So it was disappointing for me. I was really wanting to like it a lot more. The music is nothing like the music of Carmen, which Bizet also wrote. This is a very sort of a trite opera. Sorry. Well, next on the docket is in February we get to hear Hansel and Gretel by the Artist Resident Company. And then in March, I'm going to hear Angela Brown, or as she calls herself, Miss Angela Brown in Tosca. I'm very much looking forward to that. Although I've seen Tosca so many times, I don't know why I'm doing this. But I hope you've all enjoyed my little review, and please make any comments that you care to make on the page. Thank you, and good night.